There we go.
That's it.
That is it. All right. So overall, I got to give that one to Trump. I think that my scorecard is definitely there if I was going to judge that properly. And John, I'm glad you brought this up where you said that whose idea was it to tell Biden? Here's 43 numbers. I need you to say and everything. Also, bro, remember how they've been saying Biden spent 7 days on debate prep? That is 7 days worth of work. I don't believe it. I don't believe a moderately intelligent chicken would have that poor of a performance under 7 days of debate prep. That was very bad.
There was that. Remember, like that. It was like the second Obama debate versus Romney, where he just like Obama came out and just like shat the bed. It felt like any sleep the last night. Like it was just a bad performance. That was that version of Obama would have took his dick out and slapped both of those guys across the and he just walked them off the stage. That is how poor of a performance that it was bad on both ends, but Trump was like in what I would say expected range.
Right.
Right. Worse than I could have possibly.
I've never seen Biden that bad before. Yeah. I've never seen him that bad before. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nick, what are your thoughts here?
No, honestly, I was thinking that that Biden was a little bit ahead until the closing statements.
That was a bad closing statement.
That was awful. Those closing statements. Like, I mean, Trump's closing statements were about as expected. He was coherent for like 2 seconds, and then he went and rambled, and we had no idea where he was going. But Biden didn't say anything, but struggled to remember numbers.
I know. It's just that, and with I was thinking about
it's the closing statement too, guys. That like if you're practicing for 7 days and you can't even get through your closing fucking statement. Like,
remember, all you have to do is remember a script. That's it.
Yes. Like 5 lines of script. I was thinking that too because all right, I guess like even if you practice for 7 days, you can get caught off guard by a question that's worded a little incorrect. This is your script. No one can fuck this up. You said this 1,000 times. You should be able to say it in your sleep. And he stumbled through it. It's like, and what's gonna bother me is I already know that we're gonna have some like resistance libs out there who are gonna say, "Oh, you're gonna make fun of the guy for having a stutter?" Yes, he's the president of the United States. I'm sorry he has a stutter.
It's not even the stutter.
That's the thing. It's not the stutter.
Years ago, he wasn't this bad.
No, it was. Yeah, but it's like public speaking is part of the job as president of the United States. You need to be good at it. Like you knew this when you signed up for it. If you can't do it, maybe you shouldn't. I know that was bad. That was just not good.
For me, like I can understand. Oh, my monitor just died. Oh no, it's back. For me, I can understand the stutter. I've got a stutter too, right? I have to practice, but like I'm a content creator with a fucking stutter. You know? I make it work. You can do that.
You have stuttered less during this live stream than Joe. Like, and by less, I mean like 1,000 times less. Right. And you also have a stutter. Like it's not the stutter, guys. He had the stutter 4 years ago. It is mind blowing that anyone with a straight face can tell me that is the same guy that we saw 4 years ago. The guy we saw 4 years ago would have crushed him there. He would have crushed him.
That was.
Yeah, that wasn't it.
Go ahead. We're all fighting for it. You go ahead, TJ.
No. It's just that it was so easy too. The whole time I was thinking, I was like, man, like literally anybody I know could have crushed Trump in that debate, and Biden somehow didn't. Like, I can't think of someone who would have lost in that debate, and Biden actually did. That was embarrassing.
Taken a random person off the streets who knows nothing about politics, and they would have crushed Trump in that debate.
Right.
Yeah.
And like just like John was saying, like stuttering's fine. You know, you can practice going through speeches with a stutter. You can respond to people like you can take additional time to respond to people with a stutter. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was he had no idea what he was saying when he was talking.
Good point by Kimberly. Like that was not State of the Union Biden.
I thought we would get State of the Union Biden. I thought we were getting
Biden was clear as crystal when he talked. This Biden, I couldn't follow anything. Like neither could he. Yeah, that didn't look good. I gotta say, like I'm surprised. I did not expect Biden to perform that poorly. And like you guys said, it's not like Trump did really well. Trump started out well, I think. I actually think Trump started out great. So I used to play in band when I was in high school. Played trumpet like a fucking nerd, but I remember our band director always told us something that I still remember to this day, and I think about his speeches all the time, that you can fuck up a lot in a speech, but as long as you start well and end well, that's what people are going to remember. And that's what Trump did. Trump started well and he ended well. The middle was chaos, but the beginning and the ending were pretty cogent and concise. And Biden's best moments were like smattered in and out, when he got angry or whatever and animated. But that
look he gave him was probably the best moment for Biden the debate. If he would have verbalized that look, it would have been devastating. But he couldn't.
Yeah, right.
Oh God, a couple of non political things here. I thought CNN put a real that was, if we had two competent presidential candidates, that would have been a really great debate format.
It would,
they were on their game. I thought that was really good, and if we had anyone else on that stage, it would have been a very insightful debate.
And to be perfectly honest, I think this was more insightful than it had any right to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've watched a lot of presidential debates, and weirdly, this is the most not informative. Nothing informative happened. This is the most tame out of all of them.
It was the most policy focused. There was a lot of policy talk. Even relative to expectations, there was so much policy talk. But even relative to the any of the last several debates, I thought they did a better job of keeping the candidates focused on the questions.
Right.
Yeah.
And when one of the candidates, when Trump would go back and not answer the question because he's still answering either another question or something random that he brought up, they actually held him to that to actually make him answer, at least some of the time.
Except that one time where they cut him off. If that was an accident, they didn't mean to do that, I don't think, but they should have made him answer Biden's question.
They
should have condemned them. That could have been a win for Biden and CNN.
Yeah. Also, Trump didn't have to answer anything about Israel and Gaza. That was frustrating. Trump went off the deep end, and they didn't hold him to that answer the same way as they held him to other answers, and that's frustrating.
Another thing I wanted to point out, I almost wrote this down during Biden's his closing remarks, where he talked about taxation and job rates. I was like, buddy, you're talking like you're not the president right now. You're complaining about the way I was like, it was a weird statement altogether, because he's like, I need to do this. I was like, bro, you're in charge. This is a weird it should.
He does that shit all the time, though, TJ. That is kind of his MO, where there's that drill tweet where he's like, this guy's always talking, and yo, somebody better do something about this shit.
I know, it's the hot dog thing. But he needed to do way more attacking on Trump. That's it, and he didn't, and that's honestly a little shocking, because I know he's not afraid to, but he didn't, and because you knew Trump would do that. I don't know. It was just God damn,
Trump was doing it. Trump had some rebuttals to Biden, but Biden didn't come back.
No,
because he couldn't, because he can't think on his feet. He can barely get out his rehearsed closing argument. He cannot generate ideas on his feet and verbalize them at the same time, and that's a problem. That's a big problem, and everyone in America just saw it. And I don't think you can put those worms back in the fucking. Whatever. I'm not the president. I can fuck up my speech. You can't put the worms back in the can. The toothpaste is out of the tube. I don't think even if he crushes him in the next debate.
I just don't know how you don't have a few in the chamber. There's some things Trump is going to say. Just have it ready. I just yikes.
He had the closing argument ready too, TJ.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe he did. He just couldn't get it out in time. I don't know. But it's just that we talked to a lot of people commenting here that they're talking about policy, and it's a performance, and the performance is all that really matters. I didn't even think his makeup was that great. He did look kind of pale, I thought too. It was just did you thought that too?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was,
he should have come out with an orange spray tan.
Oh, that'd have been really funny. That would have been really funny. That would have been really funny. I don't know. Biden, I think his best moment came when he challenged Trump to carry his own bags playing golf, and saying that
was beautiful.
For 220. That was great. That was excellent. But then he kept going. Oh yeah. Well, actually, I'm a really good golf player. Oh, that was embarrassing, because Trump had handed it to him. Trump had spent 5 minutes talking about his Alzheimer's test and how he played. And it was perfect. God. And then Biden just got a C- out of an A+.
I also like the whining thing. I thought that was weird because that's one of those phrases, they tested it in front of audiences. Like they're like, what do we call wow? They definitely tested that word. And I just feel like the answer shouldn't be you were whining. He should have been like, you were trying to overthrow a democratic election. He should have been aggressive about that. And instead he's like, you're whining. Like, I can ignore your whining. That doesn't do anything to me. But like that would get headlines if he was like, you tried to overthrow the democratic election. You just said, he said it. Trump was like, oh, if it was legal, I would accept it. And Biden almost got there when he was like, no court ever said it was illegal and you still did. But then he's like, but you whined. No, you tried to overthrow a democratic election. That's what you did. But he didn't say that. And I'm just like, why did his aides think that whining was the better line there? I don't know.
I think calling Trump a whiner is reasonable because he does whine when he loses at anything or when he's criticized in any way. But when we're talking specifically about January 6th, that is not the right word to use. I completely agree. You should have said, or he should have said that he tried to overthrow an election. See, my stuttering's coming out. Biden should have pointed out that it's not just whining in that case, that Trump is authoritarian.
Mm-hmm. How did he never use that word? How did he never call him a fascist? How did he never call him he never said any of these words, and I don't know why.
What he should have done that. I agree 100%. But I think the most important word he should have used is loser. That's what you got to say. You got to be like, you are a loser. You came up against me in 2020. You lost. You didn't accept the fact that you lost. Then you can throw in the whining and the authoritarianism. But Trump, because it would get under Trump's skin. You know it would. Like, tell Trump that he's a fucking, you don't got to say fucking, but he is a loser. And, the American people rejected him. I won the popular vote. You couldn't hack what happened. You couldn't handle the truth. Just punish him on the fact that he lost and you lost in front of the entire nation. That's the real reason you're here. Don't tell people, I don't know. I'm acting like Trump Biden can think on his feet, but I don't know what I'm doing.
But TJ, that's not even think on his feet. You could have guessed. You could have guessed. If Biden said, you're a loser, you lost this, what's Trump going to say? No, I didn't lose it. Yeah, and then Biden can come over the top with, no, every single court in America said you lost it. You're lying to, and easy. Anyone in the world could have played Trump into that, and
apparently not Biden's preppers. Apparently not the people that prepped the president of the United States. They weren't good enough to come up with this shit. This is incredible. Oh my god.
Nick, what were you saying there?
No, I was just saying there's two ways of going about it, right? Biden had the ability to either throw Trump off of his feet by calling him a loser, get under his skin, and then make Trump just go off and attack him when he says something stupid. Or he could have done the finishing move and just said, no, you're authoritarian. You tried to overthrow an election and called him out on his bullshit. Either of those would have been fine. But he decided to go somewhere that didn't actually lead anywhere. Are
you telling me that the liberal moderate tried to choose a middle road that didn't actually appeal to anyone and ended up looking really bad? Is that what you're telling me, Nick? Because that would be surprising. That would be. No one could have seen that coming.
That was rough. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah,
I think you hit the nail right on the head there.
Yeah. I'm not ready to put the nail in the coffin just yet, but that was not good. That did not help. That didn't help at all. That was we'll see. But
I have gone from I think Biden's going to win to I think Trump is going to win, and it's scary. It's very scary.
I can't say it after one night, one debate. I can't. That's too. It's but I understand. I understand. So
I hope I'm wrong, TJ.
So for me, I think that I don't think we've seen the full. What was that?
The comment. As a barber, I love this podcast. That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's good.
Sorry, Nick, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
That's great. That's a great great comment.
No, I think that we still haven't seen the full depth of what this debate means yet, because most of the time, especially early debates, the actual debate itself doesn't typically sway people one way or another. They're going to vote no matter what they do, but the clips of that debate could. And I think that Biden was less clip worthy, even though he lost this debate. He was less clip worthy than Trump. Trump said a lot of really dumb things, and had a lot of loud, incoherent babbles. He screamed into a closed mic. You know, like there were things like that I think were super clip worthy that might last on the internet, that might lose Trump. But the debate itself, I think you're right. Biden lost.
So, Nick, I had this exact same thought, but the way I was thinking of it was I was trying to think of like what will be memed from this debate. That was the thing. Right. I was like, what can we? Not a whole lot, honestly. And Biden's worst part were him tripping over a sentence, which doesn't play well for a clip. It's gonna be hard to loop that. It'll be a boring one to watch.
We've done that a million times now. We've seen that joke.
True. That's true. I was thinking that. And like the part that I saw was meme was like Trump talking about his golf scores, but then it turned into Biden and Trump arguing about their golf scores, which is kind of a wash. But yeah, I had the same thought too, that for the zeitgeist, it's gonna be hard to say. Lots of positive clips. He just wasn't talking. Oh, Biden's eyes would be a good meme. Where it's like
that is actually true. Though that look, I think, will be a meme. It won't be like that'll just be a meme. Like it's not like it'll matter. It just looks funny. Kyle said here, I honestly think Biden's performance was forgettable. Hopefully what the public remembers is that Trump is unhinged. I agree, that's the best case scenario, but I don't think Trump was any more unhinged than he ever is. So I don't think that moves the needle for any. I thought that was
unfortunately, I think he was calmer. I think he was actually calmer than most of the time when we've seen him.
Especially that first hour. That first hour was the best I've ever seen Trump. Like that was impeccable. Like I have no notes on Trump that first hour. It was like a different.
At least for Trump standards, right?
Yeah. God, Kimberly, I have no desire to watch a second debate.
I hate that we have to. I hate that I have to watch a second debate. That was miserable. That was awful.
Guys, when I said I thought it was an hour and a half, my heart sank. I was like, oh no, this is a 2-hour debate? I got to watch a half an hour more of this? This is horrible. I was like, oh, thank God. Closing remarks. I was so happy.
Exactly what I thought, DJ.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's one of those things where, I feel that it's my duty as not only as a content creator, but as somebody who lives here, to watch these debates. But I don't wanna.
I know. This is like, do you remember how they kept having Republican debates? There were like 7 of them. Like, Jesus. I just watched the last one.
Terrible.
Those are awful. Yeah. But it's our job. It's our job. We're going to do it. All right. Any closing remarks, fellas, before we head out of here?
I want to see what Michael's saying. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Fact checking. Oh, yeah.
I am interested to chat, to affect some chats here. Wow. Okay, guys, it's 11 o'clock. The left wing is over. I can't talk anymore.
Wolfie says hi, Kyle. He said kitty. Wolfie says hello. All right, the show's mascot. All right, we'll catch you guys later. Love, peace, chicken grease. Woo.